welcome back to Bourbon Barrel Talk. I'm your host, Scott Minton. Today we are sitting down with, we're in Travis's penthouse. That's what I'm going to say today.
This is a penthouse. I get the feel of that.
Yeah. So we're just going to say it's the penthouse.
It's the penthouse.
It's a tiger
Penthouse.
in the bathroom, too.
Tiger in the bathroom. Mike Tyson is going to punch you out. Anyway, this is I'm gonna call it our 2021 year in review, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about our.
What's Twitch when I hear year-end reviews? Just work year-end reviews. Just Twitch. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah, nobody's getting a raise, Matt.
Holiday bonuses are gone. No one's getting a raise. You're lucky to have a job. Yeah. All right, move on.
Year in review. So what we're going to do is we're going to talk about some of our favorite bottles or pours of the year, that came out in I'm going to say 2021 / the very, very end of 2020. Because I think
we
there's
could just
a couple
call it
of
like
things.
the COVID years.
The COVID years? Well, I guess we could.
They're all going to blend together at some point.
You're probably right.
I went and looked exactly when these bottles were released. So.
Oh, Travis did research. We're winging it.
Yeah, no, Travis. Leave it to Travis.
Leave it to Travis.
To be so awesome and cool.
Travis.
Mr. Teach Bourbon
Mr.
here.
Penthouse.
That's why he's teaching people stuff, right? He doesn't wing shit. He goes out and actually finds factual information. We're like, screw it. Let's just go with it.
This is fine.
It's close enough.
It looks good.
I wanted to see when the Old Forester 150th came out. I was like, that's probably the bourbon of the year, but unfortunately that was 2020.
I was going to say, that was the end of 2020.
So, like I said, we can probably call it the COVID years and like blend some of them in together if you want to.
Yeah.
To backtrack,
You can do whatever you want.
We're going to do whatever we want. But
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to talk about some the big hits and what we think might be a little bust or a big bust, like things that we tried and we're like, I don't know.
All right.
As Matt always says, meh. Not really my cup of tea.
You'll work on that.
That's
We'll get that meh. Right.
Is there a scale like a meh to meh?
Meh.
Meh.
That's how many bourbons we've had.
Yeah, that is actually probably definitely true. That and what would fair enough? That's always fair enough.
Yeah, you just hear me say that enough.
If you've got a valid point, Matt will just say fair enough.
Yeah,
he won't argue anymore.
Nope.
Just fair enough.
Yeah. Moving on to the next point.
He must. His
He'll
wife,
never agree, but he'll give you a fair enough.
I was about to say, I bet his wife hears
She
fair
hates
enough
it so
every 30 seconds. Fair enough, Gabby. Fair enough.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, sure. Check out the sure. That goes in there a lot. What does that mean? Yes or no? Sure.
Sure.
Just tell me yes or no.
I bet she's not mad at you a lot.
I bet she lives mad at Matt. That's probably going to be the next podcast I come up with. Mad at Matt, and
Matt's
we're going to have
on
random
Travis's
people.
couch now.
We have random people come on the show to tell us why they're mad at Matt.
Thanks.
He's late. He doesn't show up on time.
Wow.
Tons of content.
Wow. It's a great COVID years conversation, guys.
I have the same 3 arguments about Matt all the time. He doesn't show up on time. Oh, Matt's never here on time. Oh, Matt's
I'm
late.
here. Hi, Captain. You love me, don't you?
You were actually on time today.
Yeah,
I was
3 minutes
impressed.
early, actually.
That's right. I was super impressed. So, all right. So 2021 in review.
This bottle I'm drinking is not from 2021, but it's fantastic. And I just want to be very, very angry at Travis for getting me hooked on this because
I have a spare bottle that someone paid for that they refused to come get. So I'm just holding on to it.
It would be me he's referring
What's the
to.
statute of limitations on that?
Oh, anything from Jasnoff is you got to give it.
I think it was pre-COVID too. So no, it's not him.
Okay, that was
It's
my
not me.
second
No,
complaint.
no, it's not for me.
I was about to say that's my second complaint about Matt. If you buy a bottle for him,
Wow. Here we go.
he'll pay you like 4 months after the fact.
Still get your money.
I mean, yeah, you get it.
You have the bottle.
You may have to ask him 5 times
It happens.
and wait 4 months, but you'll get it.
Yeah, see? Always good for it.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, I know you have this one bottle, and you have an extra one of it.
Not for you though.
No, it's not for me, and I want it. I keep on asking about it every time.
We digress. Are you talking about the Cavalon?
Yeah. So good.
Taiwanosaurus Rex.
So good.
Yep. All of them are good.
I'll be dang.
Agreed.
We tried that the day we did the podcast at your house over. I remember that one. That was a very tasty bottle. So anyway, 2021 year in review. So throw out a couple of bottles that you were like, hey, this was my jam. I really enjoyed it, and you can like make it a top 5 list. You can make it whatever, and then if you got one that you're like, go with that.
My whole life is meh.
So. Do you want me to start? Do you want to start, Jeff?
I think Travis is.
Travis
If you want me to go,
I do.
I'd like
All
to
right,
get
Travis.
your thoughts on some of this
I would
stuff,
love
too.
to give you my thoughts on
I've
these
got
things.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A couple of them are just sort of honorable mentions just because the money or whatever it is. I believe the Ezra 99 came out in 2021. I thought for the money that was a great sipper.
Agreed.
$30 range, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely not the bourbon of the year, but I thought for the price range, I thought that was absolutely a killer release. One that was really cool to me, and kind of in the same vein, not my bourbon of the year, but the New Riff Malted Rye, the 6-year. I think that's the best thing they've ever put out.
I really like that.
Yeah.
Solid pour.
Very good.
Yeah.
Solid pour.
So those are two I just kind of wanted to mention. If you can find them, they should both be fairly easy to get. Maybe not in every state, but they're in a lot of states.
Yeah.
My probably bourbon of the year, that Peerless Double Oak,
Oh,
maybe.
no.
Was that going to be yours?
No.
You just don't like it?
That's okay.
Either that, I think it was awesome. Again, I think that might be the best thing they've ever put out.
I agree.
That or
That wouldn't
the,
be hard.
I agree.
Well, I love,
I
love
know
a lot
you're a
of their
big
stuff.
Peerless fan. I know.
I don't know how to do this, but okay, so I guess if I'm going with that, then the other one I would put up there is the 20-year Four Roses.
Oh, the 20-year Four Roses was absolutely
Well,
delicious.
so I feel like we might have to
That's like a unicorn.
narrow that down a little bit as to, was there a certain barrel of that you liked better than the other ones? Because if I recall correctly, there's about 5 or 6 of them.
There was a lot of them. I've tried 3 of them. I know it's hard because it is single barrel, but I just can't think of anything. I didn't really try any of the BTAC or Pappy, I know it's easy to either go with one of those, BTAC especially, or I just kind of exclude them.
Yeah.
But I was looking at the releases this year, and there wasn't anything that kind of stood out to me, and that Four Roses 20-year
Very
is
good.
just so good.
Very good.
And unique, and there was a lot of it. I mean, if you made the effort to go down there, you would have gotten one. I know it didn't hit store shelves or anything like that, but it wasn't terribly difficult to get. There was a lot of it.
Yeah. No, I agree with you on that one. It's delicious. I mean, mine sits at, I guess, I have the 57.7 proof, so it was good.
Mm-hmm.
It was good.
Oaky, but not over oaked.
I thought mine was a little bit over oaked. When I tried a little bit more over oaked than I would like it to be, but I mean, I'm comparing it to the 15-year. So I've got the
Right.
15-year, the 17-year, and the 20-year. So we'll do a lineup to that at some point.
Do you like super oaky?
No, not particularly.
See, I do. So it was like in my.
It was probably right up
wheelhouse.
your alley then.
Yeah, so I could see from your perspective maybe it being over oaked.
It
It
was-
had that kind of sharp oakiness to it.
It was good. It was very good.
Mm-hmm.
But
And which one was that again?
the 20-year.
The 20-year Pappy?
Yeah. No.
No, Four Roses.
Four
The 20-year
Roses. Oh.
Pappy. No, pay
I was
attention.
like-
Where are you?
Well, somebody said Pappy in there, and then I heard you say 20 again. And I was like, oh, they're talking about the 20 Pappy now. I thought she switched from the
Hey,
20
do
or
we need
Four
to change
Roses.
the battery in his hearing aid? Is that what we need to do?
Turn his volume up there.
I'm all messed up. So, but yeah, I didn't find that they were super over oaky. I tried 3 different batches.
Yeah, I tried a couple of them. I kind of want to keep on this topic of Four Roses to be one of the bottles that was a letdown in 2021, and I think you know what I'm going to say is the limited edition 21.
Yeah, limited edition small batch. Yeah, I agree.
And I'm a huge fan of those releases, right? I love them, have every single one. That one, if I blinded that and I didn't know it was a limited edition, I would just be like, meh, it's okay. Like,
Right.
This is just fine. And I normally love everything they put out, but I mean, if I were to blind them, it would probably be closer to the bottom of it.
Yeah.
And I don't know what it was, but there was nothing exciting about it. It was mellow. It was just bland. There wasn't a whole lot of complexity to it. And for a limited edition, you have a lot of those older single barrels blended with a little bit of younger ones, and so you just expect a little bit more out of it.
Right.
So in my opinion, that was one of the ones that kind of let me down this year.
Somehow I've never managed to taste that.
I'll bring it over next time.
Okay.
So for me, and I'm going to go with just a few of my favorites, and then the one that it wasn't bad, but it let me down because of the previous years. But Stag Junior this year I thought was great. I mean, it was a great solid pour. Matter of fact, one of the store picks, the Cox's Evergreen
good.
store pick.
Love that one.
Everybody's talking about that one.
One of my favorite bottles that I've had of Stag Junior in 5 years, 4 or 5 years.
A+.
I mean, they kicked it out of the park with that one. Parker's Heavy Char, the weeded was good. It wasn't. I mean, I thought it was good. I thought it was pretty good. I mean, it gives you all the things that you love about, a weeded bourbon. It gives you some of that sweetness and the complexity to it. The Heavy Char. So I don't know. I really enjoyed it.
I don't know.
Everybody's got a difference, right?
I know.
I'll tell you another one that was a big fan of, and I didn't get a chance to go do the experience, but I've tried about 3 different bottles of it. The Heaven Hill Bourbon Experience.
You
bottles.
got to do that. That was a must do.
There's 3 or 4 different batches that I tried, or barrels that I tried. One was like 129 and some change or something like that. That thing was phenomenally good.
So does that count though?
I mean, it was released. I mean, it was only released at the distillery.
Release.
Fair.
So I'm going to counteract my own statement in saying that, right? The Parker's Heavy Char 11 was just a hot weeded one, but the 7-year
Bernheim there, yep.
The barrel proof 7-year Bernheim, which is the only time they've ever done this, to my recollection, was delicious. I thought it was great. It's a 7-year Bernheim. Yep. They did it at barrel proof.
Oh, not a Parker's.
They did a bottle your own.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah,
gotcha.
and I actually think that tasted phenomenal. But once you have the Heritage Center bottle, you're like, oh yeah, we need to get that one instead.
Never been a big fan of their weeded bourbon in any shape or form.
I don't blame you on that one, but this one, I don't know. It was better than I expected it to be, so that might be why. I think I had lower expectations for it, and when I tried it, it went above.
I love that they're doing stuff like that, though. The credit to them for releasing these unique products. And I know there's a lot of kerfuffle about how they're releasing their special stuff down there in Bardstown, but credit to them for trying to spread the wealth there and doing these unique releases and making them available.
Right.
Sure.
An honorable mention would probably be, I thought it was good. But me and Travis kind of have the same feeling about, some of the downside of it. The Russell's Reserve 13, which I know Matt's probably a big fan
I really
of.
like it, yeah.
I mean, I thought it was good.
I flipped this table in anger.
Well, I mean, in my argument with why it could have been an overrated bottle easily was the fact that I've had some, regular 10-year Russell Reserve single barrel picks that were just as good.
Now,
right.
Agreed. There are some phenomenal Russell's picks out there.
Right. So
to me, I think it's easy with the hype that you see to say that it's overrated, and I don't think anybody should take that as a negative. It is incredibly good bourbon, but this just speaks to the Russell's Reserve line when you can go and buy a standard 110 Russell's off the shelf single barrel, not even a store pick, just a standard single barrel, the dark red label. And it could be just as good, it's a credit to them.
You can, what I piggyback on that is you can buy the 10-year Russells from like Costco and Sam's Club for $27.
It's crazy good.
Right.
It's insane. That's money. That is the epitome of value right there.
People are chasing Blantons.
Yeah, that's what I tell people all the time. Like, man, if you're chasing Blantons, there's so many other single barrels out there that are just such a better product. I mean, and for way cheaper too. I mean, on top of that, but
I have had, right. But back to the Russells. I mean, you have had some 8, 9, 10-year-old. I mean, they're phenomenal, right? They have that. They've kind of got that dusty complexity to it, and a little bit of butterscotch to it. So you like that old style distilling method in some of those single barrels, and they are hit and miss as single barrels are meant to be. But for the price point of the Russell's 13, putting it out there, I'm not really sure. Price per value, it's not that bad.
It's not for the money. I mean, if I ran into it at retail, I'd buy a case.
Yeah, exactly.
And my understanding is it's supposed to be somewhat regular, maybe a couple times a year, so it's not just going to come and go. So that's cool.
If we could find a lot of things at retail, we would probably buy a case.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Well, if you could find it at retail, you wouldn't have to buy a case of it, right?
Yeah, we would.
You
Fair.
would just be able to go in and you'd be able to buy it, right?
No, we'd have to.
We'd have to.
Yeah, we just have to.
No, that's my argument is if you see it and it's special, you've seen all these age statements get dropped, I'd be buying a case.
Buy it. You just do it.
Just in case.
So my bottle of the year, and I'm probably an outlier. The 117 series, especially the High Angel Share. I'm a High Angel Share guy.
Yeah.
Like Warehouse K was great. It was delicious. The High Angel Share 2 that just came out like right before Christmas, I thought was a great pour, fantastic drink. But the High Angel Share, batch 1 was just, to me, I thought was phenomenal. Like it gave me everything that I want about an Old Forester, with a little bit more bite and integrity, so I can do whatever I want with it. If I would never mix it in a cocktail, but if I wanted to, I could, because it's got enough, stank behind it that I can do it. So
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that's mine.
Ooh, that'd be an amazing cocktail.
I think we need to try that.
Mm-hmm.
So my disappointment bottle, and it's only purely because I just felt like all the other batches that had been released before this point was better than this, was the Michter's Toasted Bourbon.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Wait, hang on a second.
No.
That's funny. That's fair. I like that.
I mean,
that was going to be on my list. I thought one of the best releases of the year.
So I thought it was good. Like but I was so disappointed compared to like 14 and 18, even 15 to me. I thought was better. Like I just
see. I don't know if I know him well enough to do that. I just my qualification was going to be that is one of the best bourbons you can start your evening with. I wouldn't necessarily put it up against some of the other stuff I mentioned, but I just thought like you want to start your night off, you're not going to get any better than that. Well, it's low proof. I don't know if you'd want to finish with it.
So
if you're drinking a bunch of barrel proof stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
Your palate's screwed at that point anyway. It's not like it really matters.
But that to me, that is even though I enjoyed it, it was less than what I was. I guess because I've been waiting on it for 3 years, that the hype wasn't worth the wait.
Yeah.
Were the older ones the same proof?
Yeah, they were all
around. They were all around the same proof.
God, imagine that at barrel strength.
It is barrel. Sadly, that is barrel strength.
Oh, that is barrel
Yeah,
strength?
they have a low
so they
entry
lose
proof.
that much proof? Isn't
They
it
have a low entry
96?
proof.
It's like 94.
Wow.
I think 14 was a little bit higher, maybe in the hundreds. 104. I think
That's wild that
105.
it loses that much proof.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Well, sticking with Michter's, I know it's not a bourbon, but we tasted the M10 Rye. Wasn't
dude.
that this year's?
yeah, they're delicious. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
are we doing
we did
just
that on
bourbons?
no, we can throw rye in
Yeah.
there. This
That
is Bourbon Barrel
M10
Talk. I
that
mean, we're
M10
just,
Rye
Yeah,
from
we
this
did.
year
Yeah.
was pretty awesome.
If you want to
I
listen
thought
to
the
our
re-
older
the-
episode of review of that,
the regular Mick 10's fantastic. I mean,
Yep.
solid pours, but they release them every year. I mean, I guess you could throw that in with, like you said, for a release for this year. So I don't know, Matt,
Scott, what's up?
list.
Hey,
We know Russell's Reserve 13's on there.
Russell's Reserve 13's on there. So, right, I mean, my list, right, we've already said some pros and some cons of there. I mean, I agree with you guys. It is unfortunate that I don't know if either I've just become way more picky about some of the things that I hold to a higher standard that have let me down. But, Russell's 13, it's good. It's not great, but it's good. Four Roses 21 let me down. I mean, birthday bourbon this year let me down as well. I
Still haven't tried it.
All right, come over and try it. Just
I haven't touched the bottle
oh my
yet.
God, everything's open at my house. Just come over and try it. I don't care.
Is it at your house or is it somebody else's?
No, it's at my house.
Okay.
Did it seem like there was a little bit less of limited releases or special releases this year? I feel like maybe I just got spoiled with what Old Forester did in 2020. Because I went back and looked at the release calendars to come up with ideas, and I was like, there wasn't much that excited me.
No, there wasn't. And I think a lot of what's going on is, right, people are holding back for obviously staffing reasons. There's a bottle shortage. There's a barrel shortage. We
Right.
all know that these life events are happening, preventing these releases. That's a given. Yes.
Oh, I forgot one of my other favorites.
Sure.
Jump right in.
Starlight's Ambriana Cask.
Oh, that
Yeah.
shit
The
was
bourbons
awesome.
and ryes.
That was good.
Oh
I hate
my
to
god,
say it, but that was wonderful.
That was good.
it's like Christmas cookies with
so-
cigars.
So that's actually a really good transition because I feel like during what I'm going to call the COVID years is that this has been really the birth of overly sourced whiskey and then overly finished whiskey, right? Everyone is doing some kind of sourced whiskey and some kind of finished barrel, and it's changed the entire game of bourbon from what people used to know it. And don't get me wrong, I appreciate that, right? I love different flavor profiles that go good with meals. It's like you pair your wine with meal, you're going to pair a finished bourbon with what you're eating. It's the same concept.
Ooh, I forgot one more. Oak
Oh my
Carter Batch 8.
God. Punch you in the
Oak
face.
Carter Batch 8 was delicious. Batch 10 was really good.
I like Batch 10 actually.
But 8 was really good.
I have to revisit that.
So I had an honorable mention. The not bourbon was the Batch 4 American whiskey, Old Carter.
Yes,
138 proof
so
stuff.
good.
Phenomenal.
So
That
good.
is good. Yeah. I'll be honest with you. I've loved every Old Carter that I've had, other than one, the Kentucky.
It was unique.
The
It was
Kentucky
very
whiskey,
cinnamon.
dude. The Kentucky whiskey that was like a weird blue label
Yeah.
on the neck tag, but it tasted like it was just really floral for me. Mm-hmm. I mean, it had like some kind of weird, like, I don't know, almost like
It hits hard.
It's almost like a dandelion and some kind of other flower, like that, violets or something. Like it just tastes like I rolled around in a wheel in a big giant prairie of flowers and was drinking bourbon while doing it.
I want to know what you do in your free time. So I'm going to kind of change it a little bit. These two bottles I'm going to mention are a little bit harder to get. I'm not going to call them necessarily unicorns because we've tried them and one was phenomenal and one really let me down. I'm pretty sure they came out in the COVID years, and Travis, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it's the E.H. Taylor, the Amaranth Grain of the Gods, and then the 18-Year-Old Marriage. And I'm pretty sure they came out fairly recently.
Yeah, that would have been probably in the middle part of 2020.
2020, 2021. I want to say they were getting released.
Well, they
I
were
think
2021.
18 year was 20, and then 21 was the Warehouse C.
Correct. But
Yeah.
I think Amaranth and 18 came out at the same time.
Yeah, I think one
correct?
came out like in February. The other one came out like later in the year, like September or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to tell you that the Amaranth let me down the most, and the 18-year was probably the greatest thing I've ever tried from that Buffalo Trace lineup.
It was awesome, I think, and it's the best since the original Tornado.
Yeah, totally agree with
Yeah.
that. I don't know what your thoughts are.
I've not
Scott.
tried that. I've not tried the 18-year marriage.
So since you're going back, I'm gonna go back to 2010 for my 2021 Bourbon of the Year.
That's not how that works. No.
Well, you're
It's not
getting
the
into
COVID years.
2019 now.
Oh, wait.
Oh, so this is
So-
just
so
now the
this
COVID
is the
years?
COVID years.
Oh, Lord.
So wait a minute.
that opens up the door to a lot.
It's Pandora's box.
Yeah.
Didn't the Wild Turkey 2003 come out in 2021
I don't know.
or the end of 2020?
I don't know.
There was a 98, a 02, and then a 2003, right?
Yeah.
It's been in like the last year, year and 18
Wow.
months.
That whole 3 was pretty damn good.
Good. So but there was a batch of them that
The
wasn't
problem
good.
was it was like 89 proof or
No, but
80
there was a
88
batch
proof.
of them that were bad. Like a couple of them were skunked bottles, and so people had to send them back to the distillery. There was a whole issue with that. So depending on who you ask, whether
Right.
it was good or not.
That's fair.
By the way, I'm sipping on this Restoration Rye.
Yeah,
It's pretty good.
it's good. I'm happy it doesn't taste. I'm happy.
This
it
is a
tastes
single barrel, 115 proof. It's not the batch, just to be clear there.
good. This is still my jam. I don't care what anyone says.
But this is good. I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there. I don't
So-
know who picked it, but it's good. Travis, I know, was somewhere around in that area.
Yeah, it was the program they did where you could put a deposit on a barrel of White Dog. Well, I guess it wouldn't be White Dog if it's in a barrel, but just 5 years ago, basically. So we got to taste the White
new
Dog.
make, new
yeah,
make.
we got to taste the White Dog before it went in the barrel.
Yeah.
One that kind of one of my favorite pours that I had of the year. I don't know if I would say it was like the Bourbon of the Year or Rye of the Year or whatever, but it's kind of a redemption story was the Smooth Ambler Founders Rye.
Okay.
They did 3 batches. Their cash strength. I got to try it at a charity event. Finally, I would buy a bottle if it was in front of me right now, but it was off of their column still. It was not. Don't think about big level and all that. This is super high quality, very tasty rye, made by them, West Virginia rye.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff.
Yeah. So speaking of ryes, are you a Pennsylvania, Kentucky, Indiana, West
Kentucky.
Virginia guy? You're a Kentucky rye guy, Matt?
Sure.
I mean, I'll drink all of them, but I'm
I mean, I'll
so
drink all- but are you
burnt out
partial
on
to
MGP
anything?
rye
Yeah.
right now. So burnt out on it.
Like MGP, they got that newer rye mash bill. It's lower rye. I mean, it's pretty damn good. So, I mean, it's not just the 95.5. You can get that 59%, which is pretty good.
Where is that?
51.49.
Is it 51.49? Okay.
What is that
I
showing
thought it was
up in?
59.41.
What's it called? Not the Roosevelt rye.
Yeah, Roosevelt.
Oh, I haven't had that.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
51
Oh,
rye,
I might
49
actually really
malt.
like that then.
Bring a
So-
sample of it.
Yeah. It's way different than their normal stuff. But
It's very good.
The Pennsylvania Rye too. I've had a couple of those. I was like,
Good old
pretty
dad's
good.
hat.
Yeah.
They did something right.
So I don't know. Yeah, finally, those people in Pennsylvania did something right.
Yeah.
Did Buffalo Trace do anything that excited us?
Well, the 18-year marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was really good.
I mean,
But people looking for the barrel proof, I already know a lot of people would be like, "Oh, it wasn't that good." So it's not barrel proof.
it's fine.
So I did try the 18-year marriage, but it was like
you said you didn't try
So wait a
it.
minute, listen. It was like what was left in the very, very bottom of the bottle after they'd already pulled it all out. So like
Can't
it was.
say you didn't try it then.
But I
You're
couldn't
lying
re-
to
I
our
couldn't-
viewers.
I couldn't really
apologize.
I couldn't
to
really
them.
taste it. all.
Apologize.
I couldn't taste
Say you're
it.
sorry.
I couldn't taste it.
Say you're sorry.
I'm sorry, Matt.
Thank you. No, say you're sorry to them, not me.
I'm sorry, Bourbon Barrel Talk
Thank you.
fans.
Thank you. You heard it. You heard it here first.
So I tried it that way, but like that, it's
So-
just not enough there to get the
All
taste.
right. So you got your CYPB and then that new quote unquote single barrel, and I'm going to use air quotes with that because there is
BS.
not
It's
technically.
OWA.
The TTB cannot approve something that's not technically true, right?
Sure. Yeah, I'm going to go with that.
Sure.
Sure.
See, now you're learning how that word works.
Fair enough.
See, also, I'm so proud of you guys.
Pretty confident.
Learning so much.
The TTB can do whatever they want to do.
100% true. So, right, those two came out, and I've never been a CYPB fan,
Nor should anybody be.
and I'm still not a CYPB fan. But I am happy about the Golden Straight from the Barrel being available in the United States.
Was it though? I mean, it was, but was it?
It
was.
Blanton's Gold.
It was.
Straight from the barrel.
It was. It is.
It is
Just
available.
like, yeah.
I mean, it hit
And
it
is.
hit a select few liquor stores, and they were all $500 a bottle.
available.
It
More
is.
air
It
quotes.
is. Yes. We're using lots of air quotes
Yeah, because
right now.
Blanton's regular is very easy to get, right? It's available.
It's available. It's available like we're available, and we're married.
It's available like Pappy's available.
It's there.
Yeah.
You can get
It's
it.
not there. Well, yeah.
You can get anything
You can get a lot of
want.
things in Kentucky above retail.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. You're not going to find it in many other places for sure. So I don't know. So any other big, shockers or anything? Was there anything that you tried and you were like, "Oh my God, that's fantastic," and you really weren't expecting it?
Travis.
Well, I mean, we've already talked about it, but that Starlight was one of the best things I had this year, and I really don't want that to be the case, but it was.
Right.
You know what? I will say that there are a lot of distilleries that are putting out new double oaked products that I'm a big fan of. Like, I do like the Peerless double oaked. I don't think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but I think it's awesome. I mean, I love the 1910. Right? Can't beat that. I mean, Nulu put out their double oaked. I thought it was pretty good.
Yep.
And a lot of people are just trying to experiment with it a little bit more. And I cannot wait. I will tell you, I cannot wait for Old Forester to put out the
117.
1910.
My God.
I will buy a
Yeah.
case of that.
Yeah, people will lose their minds.
You
I
won't get a
already
case.
lost my mind. And I just said it.
I lost my mind when I saw the label.
Yeah. I was like, I must have this.
I lost my
I thought
mind
it was
for
a
you
troll.
too.
I thought it was a troll. I was like,
I
there's
thought it
no
was
way
too.
that's real.
And then
Yeah.
it came through. So
So
that is like my, now I'm going to be really upset if that lets me down.
And someone else that had a really good double oak was Davies County. Lux
Yes.
Row.
Yep.
That was a great release.
I'll tell you, I think John and them do a fantastic job out there.
It's crazy when you
Now
look at
known
how
as
many
MGP.
brands they have.
Now known as MGP.
Yeah, now known as MGP.
Now
That's
they have
true.
more brands.
They have more brands.
So
Well, they did do a great job. And the Davies County, even some of the finishes with the Davies County, like the French oak, like that doesn't get in a lot of love, but that has a real creamy finish to it, and it's easy on the palate. It's a good drinker.
Yep.
I mean, not everything's made to be drank at barrel proof.
Thomas More, those were some of the worst bottles I had all year.
I think I just tried the Chardonnay and it was not good.
Oh, those were terrible.
Yeah, they were awful.
Yeah. Those were Barton's.
Like Barton should be ashamed of themselves putting that out.
You tell them that.
I think he just did.
I did.
know.
So they're gonna find out. that I just
Sazerac
said
is
it.
not going to like us.
Yeah. No, I just
Sazerac's not going to like him.
that's true. My name is Matt Jasnoff.
Thank you.
Anyway,
If you like me, it's Scott Minton. If you don't,
my name's Matt Jasno.
Did the Remus Repeal 4 come out in 2021?
Remus 5 did.
Remus 5.
Yeah.
That was
It was
awesome.
good pour.
Yeah.
Good pour. Absolutely. I'll tell you the sleeper bottle, the stuff that came out, and I was like, I'm going to try this shit because after Amaranth Grain of the Gods, I'm like, I don't know that I want to try another, alternate grain thing. Spirits of French Lick came out with this Akasha Bourbon, and it was good. It was super good. And I don't know what Akasha is. I know it's some kind of weird grain. But it was tasty. Tasty as all get out.
Isn't it a brewery?
What
it is
Akasha?
technically a brewery. Yes, Akasha Brewery.
Oh, I don't know.
Nulu.
Yeah, but this
Akasha
is
is-
Akasha is the actual grain. Like it's
Would it start with an A or with a K?
K.
K.
Oh, this is
Yeah.
the brewery.
Akasha's a brewery.
Yeah,
Kasha
Akasha.
is
Yeah, this was the Kasha bourbon. Yeah, that Spirits of French Lick released this year. But I really like what Alan's doing. I think he's
Doing great stuff.
creative.
Absolutely
doing some
great
great
stuff.
stuff out there. So
Yep. I mean, you got to give an honorable mention to the King of Kentucky, right? Some of those barrels are delicious.
Yeah.
some are excellent.
I haven't tried all of them yet.
I haven't
By
tried
the
all.
way, if anyone's listening to this, I do not have the information on barrels 1 and barrels 3 of the 2021 release. I have everything else, but I cannot find those two. So if anybody has them, please let us know.
Okay, yeah, send it to.
I'm
our
trying to
email
collect
address.
data for this. I just I don't need the bottle. I just want to know what it is, what proof it is, how many bottles were in it.
And a 2-ounce sample.
I mean, it would be fantastic if I had a 2-ounce sample. But from what I recall, is I
Send
think
the 2-ounce sample to.
I think barrels 1, 2, and 3 were employee release only.
That sounds
That could be
possible.
it.
So
Could be it.
if somebody who works there is listening,
Oh, what about Jack Daniels?
I'll check.
love Jack Daniel's Barrel Proof, love the Coy Hill. I think
The
it's
rye.
so
I mean,
good.
They crushed it this year.
They
Jack Daniels Rye did crush it
annihilated
this
it.
year. Absolutely.
love. I
Brown
love.
Foreman is just dominating. Old Forester 2020, Jack
Jack
Daniels
Daniels.
2021.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to say that the Jack Daniels releases were better than some of the old Forester ones.
Yeah.
But I just go back and think about all the MTSs that were released over the last year.
They were
Some of
so
them were
hit and
so
miss.
damn good, though.
Some of them were
so
just
good.
firewater with cinnamon added to
That
it.
ended though quite a while ago. Like,
Yeah,
did
and
they
it-
do that in 21?
Yeah,
maybe
just-
a little bit.
Just a little bit. It was probably the
Travis,
first couple of
the
months.
COVID years.
The COVID years.
Man, there was nothing better than working a block away and being able to do it on curbside.
See ya.
Just, man,
Walk over.
they were so good.
Hey,
They're
Hey,
great
Travis.
people over there.
Oh yeah, shout out to Kirby.
Absolutely. Kirby, Tyler, all them dudes in there are just great.
boy, I really hope they've subscribed and listened to this.
I think Tyler does.
It would
I
be a
don't know
shame if they
Kirby does.
didn't.
I just know they're good people over there. They're super nice, super friendly.
That's about the best experience in bourbon.
No, 100%. So, I don't know.
So, I mean, overall, right there, I appreciate the new things that everyone has been trying to do. Right, you're trying to put out the new greatest thing that people like, and it's hard. You got to get funding for it. Always difficult, but the sourcing has been huge lately. I mean, so many distilleries have been sourcing their whiskey, which is good. I mean, we like source whiskey, but we
Right.
obviously 5-10 years ago, we didn't expect something like this to happen. So,
It's nice that it's not all just Indiana anymore. There is Kentucky bourbon
yep, I agree.
and Kentucky rye
Yeah,
out
it's
there that
getting
you
out
can
there.
source.
One more honorable mention that I would like to put out there is,
All right.
wait for it, 6-Year Wilderness Trail.
Oh, yeah.
I think that is delicious.
Yep.
Whatever Pat and Shane are doing out there, keep on doing it.
They're
Crushing
killing it. They're killing
Love it. Absolutely love it.
I really wish I would have gotten one of the pink bottles that just came out recently for the big tornado relief thing.
I'm sure you can still get one.
I think they sold out. I think those were all auction bottles.
We're going to use air quotes when we say sold out. Yeah.
Okay, my bad. Matt's saying, yeah, you might be able to get one of those in air quotes. So, all right, fellas. I appreciate the thought process.
And that's the COVID years in a nutshell.
the COVID years. In a
I stuck to
nutshell.
2021 just for the record.
I have no idea. I
Wow.
think I
Thanks,
think I
Travis.
think I went a little
Throwing him
into
right under the
2020, but I'm pretty confident most of mine were in 2021. So
Great.
Matt's the only cheater.
Yep.
He didn't try very hard.
Nope.
No, he did not.
He didn't come
Thanks,
prepared.
guys.
What's
new?
What's new? Exactly right.
This is when you say fair enough.
No, because I don't agree.
Sure. All right. If you want to find Bourbon Barrel Talk, you can find us on our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter. You can also instantly subscribe to the episodes. You can find us.
Especially if you were an honorable mention in this episode.
Yeah, absolutely. If you're an honorable mention, you should definitely subscribe. But you can get us on Apple iTunes, Spotify. There's all kinds of different mediums. You can hook us up with that. If you wanted to send us a message, send it on Facebook Messenger or Instagram Messenger. That's the easiest way to get to us. If you have to use email, you can send it to us at bourbonbarreltalk@gmail.com. I do look at it every day, but not much coming in other than junk email like everybody else. This is Scott, Travis, and Matt signing off. Peace out.